Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're making a passive solar heater. Pop, look at all this sun that we have today. It's only about 10 degrees, but that sun is shining right now, and I can feel the heat coming off of it. Unfortunately, with all this snow down here, we're not getting a lot of the heat to absorb. Now, we are supposed to keep getting some sunny days here, but if we can get some rain on the forecast, that'll definitely help melt the snow even faster. Echo Pup, I can't see out here, bud. I can't see at all. It's too bright. That's better. I gotta come under the roof here so I can even see. But I've been watching the forecast, and I think we're just getting past the bitter cold here of the winter, and we're going to be getting into the sunnier days. We're still going to have winter temperatures, but we're going to start getting some longer days and more sunlight. And we still have a little over 2 weeks of firewood left here, so hopefully that snow can start to melt before I have to pick up another load. I'm Pop. Yeah, we got some ashes here to spread in the garden too. But I was watching some DIY videos on YouTube, and a pop can solar heater popped up, and I was thinking that might be something I can make. And if I wanted to, I have plenty of aluminum cans here I could use. Pup, but we might make it a little bit different. Go. Yeah, you gotta go in the snow. Yeah, it's deep right there, Pop. Good boy. So I'm gonna go around, gather up some materials, and see what we can make. Pup, let's get creative. Alright, Pup, we got some materials gathered up here in the garage. It's going to be a lot nicer to work inside the heated garage today than being outside. And what I'm building is going to be a little bit easier to explain here now that I have this box. And this is just the bottom of a shipping crate that my brother saved from work. Now the basic idea for this is to put this box outside facing the sun, and it's going to create a greenhouse effect with a piece of plastic over top. And that's going to heat up the air, and then we can blow that air into somewhere colder. So we're going to have to put plastic over the top of this, and we're going to put a vent in the bottom so cold air can come in. And as it rises up underneath that plastic, it's going to heat up in the sunlight, and then we'll have a hole at the top with a solar fan on it, and it can blow that warmer air into the barn or somewhere else. Now, we don't get a lot of sunlight during the winter, so this is actually going to work out a lot better here towards the end of winter whenever the days start getting longer and the sun starts coming out more. And we have about 2 months of cold weather left, so this should give us enough time to get a good test on this and see if it's something worthwhile building here going into next winter. I have a lot of different chicken coops around the property, and if I can supplement some heat for them without costing any money, I think it would be a good idea. Now, I've watched some videos of other people making these out of various materials, but I'm going to see if I can make mine out of materials that I just already have here on the homestead. But the first step is going to be sealing up this box a little bit better. It was just a shipping crate, so it's got big gaps in here, and we're going to try and make this as airtight as possible. And to do that simply and quickly, I have some ductwork tape here. I'm going to see if this sticks to these seams. Hopefully it does. That'll make things easier. And then I have some drop down ceiling tile that I saved from a renovation. We're going to get on the back side to help insulate, but that will actually melt if the box gets too hot. So we're going to cover that with drywall. And then we're going to cover the drywall up with some tar paper and some shingles, because these will be black. They're going to absorb a lot of light, but they're also going to hold some of the heat. And then I also have some holy board here. We'll see if I can find a spot for that. But I also have these screens as well. And I was thinking these might help slow the air down, because the goal is to heat up that incoming cold air. So we need to slow it down as it passes up through here so it's nice and hot before it gets to the top. So we'll see if these fit. I have an idea, but no blueprint. So we're just going to have to see what we can make. Huh, Pup, you going to help? Good boy.
Nice.
fits perfect.
Looks good.
Oh, I know, Poppy. I thought that would go a little bit quicker. Oh, hold on. I'll give you your pettins. Give me a minute. We need a petting break. Huh, Pop. All right, Pop. Now over here, hopefully you can tell what we're going for now. These screens actually fit in there perfect. Now down here at the bottom where the cold air is going to come in, I put 1.5 inch holes. I put in 4 of them. And then I put a tight knit screen over those holes so no bugs can get in. And to keep that cold air from coming up too quickly, I put a scrap piece of board there. So it's going to force the air to come up through the front of the box. Once we get the plastic on the front, there's only going to be a thin area here that's going to force all the air to come up through the front. And then it's going to have to filter through all these screens, which actually fit in there pretty well. And to help absorb as much heat as possible, I lined the entire thing with shingles. So as you saw, after we sealed all the gaps with the tape, we put the insulation board in there and then covered that up with drywall, and we sealed in the gaps each layer with the tape. So that's not only going to keep the cold air out, but it's also going to keep the warm air where we need it. Now I'm just using what I have here, and this tar paper was a little bit too hard to unravel. I think you need to heat it up to get it to go flat. So instead I just stuffed it in here, and that's going to keep the air from coming straight up here through the screens. It's going to force the air to slow down and then come through the front. And then we have this open compartment up here that's going to fill up with the hot air, and we're going to have to put a vent hole somewhere through this that we can put a solar fan on. So whenever the sun comes out and starts heating this up, it'll also kick the fan on and suck the hot air where we need it. Huh, Pup? What do you think? We need some plastic now. Now I think I have some plastic I can put on the front of this, but it is going to be used, so it might be a little bit dirty. Huh, Pop? What do you think? Good boy. Well, I got the plastic here cut to fit, and I even took it inside to the laundry sink and tried to clean it up a little bit. But then I went outside and I had to dig up this trim out of the snow, so it's covered in ice. I need it to actually dry off before I attach everything. Pop. So I'm just going to lay it out here, see if we can get this to start melting. I already got it all cut to size, and it's going to hold down the plastic nice and airtight going around all 4 sides. And then we're just going to wrap the extra around, try and keep all the heat that's rising in the box inside. But I don't want to seal the box up while it's all wet like this. So we're going to have to wait for it to dry. Pop. And then I can figure out where's going to be the best place to cut the top hole for the vent. Pop. Alright, Pup, you're doing great. You got your new shoes on. It's cold outside. It's going into the negatives. Come on. Oh, I know. We'll figure it out. Come on. Yeah, 1 foot in front of the other. You got it, Pup. Come on. Those look good on you. Come on out here. Good boy. Yeah, you're all protected now going in the snow. You'll be able to go real far. Come on. Keep coming. Yeah, you can't jump out of them, hopefully. Come on. That's going to keep your feet warm. Come on, let's see him in the snow, Pop. You got it. You got it, Pop. Let's see him in the snow. I think he's going to kick one of them off. You already, hold on. Let me check that front one. Let me check that front. Zeet. Let me help. Zeet. With your butt. Oh, Zeet. Give me, you know what? I don't know. Yeah, you're coming out. Come here, Zeet. Hold on. Life. Let's get you all the way in there. I don't know. Maybe they're a little bit small on you, Pop. Yeah, they might be a little bit small on you. Maybe they'll work for one day. Let's get you out to the barn, Pop. We gotta close up. I know, it's cold tonight. Good boy, come on. Come on. Come on, Puppy, you got it. You got it, boy. Good boy, come on. Like a Clydesdale, Pup. Good boy. You're figuring it out. Good job. Yeah, good boy. Is running easier? Yeah, running's easier than walking. He's got 4-wheel drive stuck on. Good boy, you got this. Good boy, Pup. Yeah. You're flying now. Can't even keep up. Oh, he's got it figured out. Oh, he lost one. Puppy. You flicked it right off. Oh, I think he just lost another one. Uh-oh. These might be a little bit too small for Echo Pup. Oh, no. You lost 3 of them. Puppy. You only have 1 shoe on. Good try. All right, we got to close the barn, but we are going to continue this video. Huh, Pop? thought this looked dirty. Why did I do that? I cleaned a piece and cut it to fit, and I just put the wrong plastic on here, pup. We need to redo it. We need to redo it. I thought that looked dirty. Why didn't you speak up? Could have saved me some time, pup. Nice. We gotta put it in the sun, pup. There it is, hump pop. It's looking pretty sharp out here. I just set it in the sun, so I'm gonna take a temperature reading, see what we have right now. Actually, I need to be able to tilt this backwards so the vent holes will actually suck in the cold air. Try and keep it just like that with a little bit of a tilt. Right now, the outside air temperature is 24 degrees. Looking underneath here, 39 degrees. Coming out of the top, whoops, 58 degrees. We'll let it warm up here for about 10 minutes and then check it again. That sun is shining right now, so we should be able to get a good test. I wish I could have got a clearer piece of plastic for this, or even a piece of glass would have worked a lot better, but we'll see how this works out. We're just using things that I have right now to build this box. If it works out well enough, I can build one with nicer materials. Come on, pup. We'll check back in 10 minutes. All right, pup, it's been about 20 minutes here, and this has been sitting in the sun the whole time. If I look up here, you can actually see the air blowing, and I can feel warm air coming out of here. It's warming up out here, but it's still only about 28 degrees. Temperature of the rock in the sun is 52, but the wood in the shade, 39. So it's drawing in about 30 degree outside temperature, and it's blowing out 68, 69. If we go deeper in there, it gets hotter. Let me see how deep I can shoot it. Right there's 82 coming out. So this is definitely warming up the air here. I didn't put a solar fan to get this to actually blow out. It's just rising up. And that is still putting out the hot air because it's right on top. So all the hot air coming up here still has to flow out where it can. And it is pushing the air out, but I think a fan would definitely help. Let me see if I can get the temperature of the air holes. 34 degrees, 33 degrees coming in, and we have 73 coming out. Huh, pup, if it could heat it up to 60, that would be comfortable on a day like this. It is heating up the air. There's definitely some more efficiency things we could do to make it better, but it's only been a little over 20 minutes out here in the sun. It's probably gonna heat up more. And I'd like to have the plastic more clear, but it's the only thing I had available this size. And I just used some leftover drip edge pieces here to seal it all down. I found a downspout adapter and I jigsawed a square into the box here, so all the hot air rising up in the box would just come right out the top. I put the square end in the box and then the round end fit perfect under this dryer vent hose. And then wherever I put this, I should be able to put that flexible hose right in and blow the air where I need it. Which I am going to need to get a little 4-inch solar fan for this to actually draw the air a little bit quicker. Now if we take a look at the temperature here just on the face of the plastic at the bottom, we're sitting high 70s, mid 70s. And then as we go up, it's going to climb 80s, 90s. Halfway we're in the 90s, 100 degrees. And then it starts venting at the top, 100 degrees all the way up. One of the last things I added in there was some bird netting, and I put that in there to try and slow the air going across the front. I just kind of stuffed it in there. I put a bunch in there like a bird's nest down there at the air intake so we don't have that cold air rising too quickly. And I also brought it all the way up the front of this so it slows the air down as much as possible, and then in that open gap at the top I put another bird's nest. But it's been about 30 minutes and we have an outside temperature of 28 degrees, and this is blowing air up above 60 degrees. I mean, for what it is, I think it's doing its job. Pup. It might help the birds out on days like this, whenever the sun's out. And with tomorrow going up to 50, this might actually do some work. I'm gonna let it sit out here in the sun for a little bit longer, see if it heats up some more. And then I think I might have to find a place for this out at the barn. Pup. Well, Pup, it's been about an hour. Let's see if we're still getting heat coming out of the top. 65. Go a little deeper, 76, 78 in there, and the incoming air, 37. We are more than doubling the air temperature by the time it gets to the top and coming out of the vent. So I think this is technically successful. I can really feel the heat coming in there. That just warms up the hand real quick. And I'm planning on putting a 4-inch solar fan on the end of this pipe so I can draw the air out a little bit quicker. Pup, what are you doing? Got a snowy face. You Pup. But I think we were able to prove the concept here just out of some scrap materials that we already had here on the homestead. So I already ordered the solar fan that we're going to be putting on this thing, but it's going to take a couple days to get here. But we can still get this out to the barn and set it in place. Good job, Rooster. Pup. And I think the best place for this is going to be on the south side of the barn, feeding the duck stalls. Alright, Pup, last check. We're out here for 2 hours. The air temperature outside is just above 30 degrees. And the air temperature coming out of the top of the box here, about 72 degrees. And the highest I saw was right around 84 degrees, but we are getting a little bit of clouds here over the sun. It's a passive solar heater, so it only works whenever the sun lets it. But alright, we're gonna get this up to the barn. Hey ducks. Hey mumbles. Coming in, girl. Got something for you. Alright, we got it in place here. This is not going to be its final position, but I think this is where we're going to be putting it for now. Hey pup, don't rip that wall off. I know, there's probably mice back there, huh? Easy, you're going to cut your paw. Don't do that. Hold on, pup. Now I did rip the small screw out of this trim piece, so I need to get that put back on. But the outside temperature right now is just over 40 degrees. And it's still about 70 degrees coming out of the top. Now the sun is getting more on an angle right now, so we probably are going to lose it soon. But with it facing south here, we're going to catch a lot more of the morning sunlight. And I think Mumbles would enjoy getting the warmth from the early morning sun. Pop. I know. Don't hurt yourself. He cut his paw a couple days ago looking for a rabbit. Don't make me put those boots back on you, pup. Come on, pup. We gotta figure out how we're gonna send this into the barn. Don't be afraid of it, birds. Come on, Mumbles. You pretty birds. Easy, long neck. Pup. Come on. How you doing, bud? A little frostbite on your comb, huh? You got a big comb, too. And you got the flamingo stance going on today. Now I'm thinking if this works well enough, I might be able to make a bigger one for the barn and then use this smaller one for one of the smaller coops. Come on, pup. And I might have to make a few more of these for next winter. It's about 30 degrees coming in the bottom. And it's still 42 degrees coming out of the top. Looks like we have some stored heat. I'm gonna try and figure out where to put the hole next to the window. Now I could have went with 4 1/4. I should have went with 4 1/4. Can't really do 4 1/4 after the fact though. I already did 4. Ladies, coming in. I know, it's almost bedtime. Not yet though. Alright, we're all set, ladies. Should have heat in the morning. Come on, pup. Alright ladies, I'm done for now. You might have heat in the morning. We'll see if we get some sun. We now have a hole right here that's going to pump the heat right into the duck stall. It's sitting at 60 right now. Now it is going to work better whenever I get the solar fan on that, and it's going to be able to draw the heat up out of the box. But for now it's just going to work naturally, and the heat's going to rise, and it's going to come right into the highest source, which is now the duck stall. Duke. Pop. Come on. You do you, ducks. It's 40 in here right now. It's gonna be nice tomorrow. Supposed to have a high of 50 tomorrow. So it's gonna get cold tonight and the box is not gonna work, but in the morning the sun's gonna be out and it's gonna start pumping hot air in here before I even come out to open up the door. So there we have it, a passive solar heater that's not gonna cost any money. I did have to buy a $25 solar fan. That's gonna help draw it in, but I guess we didn't really have to buy that. And a $10 can of flat black spray paint to get everything dark. And I did buy a second can because it's gonna be better to spray paint the whole box black because we are trying to absorb as much sunlight as possible. And now that we're coming out of the deep freeze of winter, we're gonna be getting a lot more sunlight. We're gonna be coming into the big thaw. Pop. Alright guys, that's going to be all for this one. If you want to keep following along with everything here at Whitt Acres, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Good boy. We got to close up now, pup. Oh no, Echo Pop. Is that my rooster? Oh no, he's thinking about crossing the road. Oh, Pop. We gotta go catch that bird.